That is why, just as through one man sin entered into the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men because they had all sinned. Romans chapter 5, verse 12. All sinned, not directly to start. It was indirectly through hereditary transfer of defective genes, whatever it might be. Because if our parents have diabetes, would it be likely to say that we all have diabetes because we all, what? Nah. The only logic that makes sense with that statement is that we inherited it, right? And so we all inherited sin, and that's the meaning there, as if we inherited some kind of condition passed on by our parents. We don't think of sin as being a condition, but if you have a disease that ages you, there are some people who suffer from that, 12 years old, and their skin completely wrinkled, and their age, as they have been examined, is of a 70-year-old man, and they're only 12. Would we call that sin? Let's call it sin. Who did he inherit it from? His parents don't have it to the extreme sense, but they will in time grow old and die, correct? So we inherited sin, and some, side effects of it and debilitating consequences of it may not be as intense on some as others, but that's what's going on. That's what Adam gave us as a possession, hereditary possession. He gave us sin, so now we all die. But guess what Adam gave up? He gave up the mission that Jehovah God gave him to be fruitful and to multiply. Remember, he sinned. He and his wife sinned before they even had children. So unless Jehovah God extended their life so they can have children, that would have been a complete wash. Also, he gave up the task that he was doing. He said Jehovah God told him to cultivate the earth, cultivate the garden. He gave that up. So he could have been a zoologist, like Dr. Dolittle. He could have been a botanist, a PhD in the field and in the lab. And he could have been a senior earth counselor, a prince. He gave all that up. What did Eve give up? Well, let's take a look. She could have been like Phoebe, because she would have been first lady. And she would have had responsibilities that was not limited by her gender, simply because of a woman being a woman. Here it is. It says that in Romans 16, verse 1 and 2, I recommend to you Phoebe, our sister, who is a minister of the congregation that is in Syncyre, that you may welcome her in the Lord in the way worthy of the holy ones, and that you may assist her in any matter where she may need you. For she herself also proves to be a defender of many, yes, of me, myself. You could have been like Phoebe, given great responsibilities, not first lady sitting down. First lady standing up with responsibilities. And then also to think about Deborah in Judges chapter 4. It says Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidioth, was judging Israel at that particular time. She was a prophetess and a judge. That's a woman. So then if Deborah, coming through the line of Adam and Eve, was given that high position, what would Eve have gotten from Jehovah? Of course, something equal, parallel, tantamount to what Deborah had, a leadership role. And in the congregation and otherwise, how women are supposed to act. It tells us here in Titus chapter 2, it says the older women in verse 3. Likewise, let the aged women be reverent in behavior, not slanderous, neither enslaved to a lot of wine, teachers of what is good. What did Eve give up? She gave up a lot. So did Adam. Let's not sympathize with them too much. Let's not be like them at all. Will we accept Jehovah's